And welcome, everybody. Welcome to Live with Jill and Frank. Unfortunately, once again, tonight we're going to be without Jill. However, next week, maybe together we could summon her into being you know, for us to be in her presence, we'll put it. And so, but for tonight, you will be stuck with me. I am Frank. I am your host for tonight. And tonight I've decided. I mean, I'm gonna give a couple of seconds for people to come in there, but first and foremost, let me thank everybody. I've been playing a little bit on YouTube on clips and stuff, and people started showing up a little bit and started watching, and uh, so it showed some interest, and we've had a few people follow us for a long time, and I'd like to thank anybody that comes and likes our videos and shares them, and we're doing this for you guys, and we're hoping to do it for as many people as possible. So we appreciate your interaction, we appreciate your help. And so, without further ado, I'm going to jump right into tonight's topic. I'll tell you, I come a little unprepared, but just before the show, I was thinking about something I think often, and it's the concept of the Great Awakening, right? Like everybody's talking about this Great Awakening, and nobody's really sure what does that mean, what is that, what, and everybody's coming with a whole bunch of different answers for it, right? And I think really the answer is pretty simple. There's a current right now. There's an energy that is carrying humanity, and that energy is it's taking different shapes, right? So for some of us, we're all coming together and connecting in a certain way. For others, there's the nefarious ones for whom it's all about control, because everybody is feeling that our old ways are failing. And you know going deeper into that, our old ways are failing, not because it's not our ways that are failing us, it's us that is failing us. We have gone into a place where we've given our ego all the place, right? Where everything we're doing in order to get something, like me, right? And so what the Great Awakening is bringing us is to actually allow us to be freed from those chains, right? um People say we're coming into the age of Aquarius. Right now, the age of Aquarius is also the age of the child, and it's the age of the fool. Now, a lot of places, what you're noticing is that we're getting into what some are calling the age of play, right? And it kind of ties with the age of the child. And what we see happening now is people, we say, acting like children, like especially older generations, right? Like we kind of go, what's with all these young kids? They just want to do TikToks and do whatever. And it's, but the truth is, as that's happening, we have the technology aspect that's happening all at the same time. While that's happening, we also have a communication that was never before available. We've never been able to speak at a earth level like this, right? Like we can contact people anywhere, anytime now. And so the information that is being exchanged, like, somebody comes in, they're in a situation of abuse, right? Like, I mean, imagine for a moment, 50 years ago, somebody's in that situation. Where do they go? We had like back in those days, you had the law of like nobody talked, like it was quiet, right? And so things were shunned. And so when somebody had to try to say, hey, something's happening to me, they had nobody to turn to. And so now, with the internet, with everything that's happened with communication, all of a sudden people started going, hey, how you doing, whatever. And then, for some, like, relatively fast, it went into, hey, what do you do if is this normal when when your husband, your wife, whoever, your friend, is it normal if this is happening? Is this normal? Is that and everybody started questioning like their place, right? And going like, whoa, what the hell's going on? Like, why do I feel like hell? And we started helping each other, and I think there's enough of us doing it at this point. There's enough information. I mean, at this point, everybody became their own doctor with WebMD, right? Like, I mean, whether it's for good, whether it's for bad, we still have this information, and so we're aware of ourselves. We've become more aware of what we are. But what is interesting is that at the same time, we're being forced to do some shadow work, right? Because we're being shown all of our ugliest bits and pieces as humanity right now. Everything that we kind of knew existed, right? Because let's face it, we all have a dark nature, and that's the reality of it. And that's what I try to bring to the table is to teach people, look, don't be afraid of it. Like, we're all horrible people at some level. Um, and acceptance of that fact is very freeing, but it's not easy. It's hard to look at yourself and to say, hey, you know what? I just did something really bad. Like, wow, I can't believe I did this, right? Um, yeah, it's developed, right? Like, those are skills, guys. Like, inquire, let us know sometimes in the chats, in the comments, on the page. Let us know things you need help with, things you, because this is what we do, right? We try to help people. I mean, I'm a coach. I can, we can do group coaching. We can set up things for people. That's what we're here for, because through this whole great awakening process, well, that's what's happening. Everybody is coming in and having a hard time, and everybody's like unsure what their place is and what their now many people have a vision of what is happening. Many people have I've gone around the internet and spoken to different people and whatever, and there's a lot of people that have very advanced views, very advanced perceptions of the world, and they're here to help everybody else, right? Like, I mean, I'm a lot in empath circles and those kinds of places, and so in there, I mean, yeah, we have a lot of people that are coming in. I mean, I don't know if it's absolutely the path of every empath. Like, I don't think it is, but for a lot of us, we come and we're suffering. Hi, Nick. Sorry, I'm doing it to you again. I don't look at the chat much. Um, See, that's why, because I get lost. I just got had here. All right, you guys, let me regroup my thoughts for a second there. Yeah, I kind of got going here, and that seeing the chat move totally threw me off. But that's where we're at, guys. We're at that point where now we can each learn how to become a better person, right? Like, we can each learn. We need to get back to learning that we are more than what we perceive ourselves to be. We've been ego based for a very long time right now, and we're coming to a point where for some reason we decided to make everything about ourselves, and it's exploding. Like, the whole system is breaking. Everything that we know right now in, I don't know, 10 years. Well, you know what? The UN says 2030. I'm going to go with that. By the time that comes, regardless if the picture is the one they describe or whatever different one it is, the world is going to be a very different place than what it is today. I mean, if you think about it, the internet, in 20 years from now, this will be called the infant ages of the internet, because we're still in the very early. AI is coming out, you guys. Like, everything is happening that, like, we're either stepping up right now or we're stepping down. Like, this is what's going to happen to humans. I believe we've been given this choice before. uh That's a very personal belief, and it's look, the story. I'm going to go there because whatever. At this point, I guess I've. The story of the Bible is the story of our ego. Is the story of what we're going through right now. It's exactly what it describes. It's just the word ego was invented like 50, 70, whatever years ago. Um, where, you know, the word devil existed thousands of years ago. However, they meant the same thing. They were talking about that part of ourselves that is going to take over and want to have and want to own and want to, and what we need to not do is create systems that allow us to concentrate power, to concentrate that energy into places. We need to have fluid systems that allow the power to just flow without getting congregated at places. And the way we've used like money and whatever, that doesn't work because it's a system where if you hoard, you gain power, right? And we can't have a system like that. No, I'm not yet proposing a system. I've mentioned one other places, but it's way out there. I'll just literally leave it to a sentence, and then I'll leave you guys, hanging a little bit. But I propose we use love and kindness as money. Um, think about it for a while and come back and let us know on the page. All right, uh, because yeah, it's we need something. Okay, here's the global view of what's happening these days. We have all the technology that's going on, right? We're starting to have machines that can build machines that can build machines. We have AI coming out. We have a whole bunch of different worldviews that are coming in that are, some seem unavoidable, some seem, all of that is creating the perfect bed, the perfect situation for humans. I mean, we're going to get hurt. Don't get me wrong. Like things are going to go really, really weird for a while. But that's what's going to get us to the next step, because I think humans right now, we're at a point where we're going to have to look at ourselves. We're going to have to accept that, we are all those things, every nefarious thing that we see in the world right now, and that we go, oh my god, that's disgusting, that's us. That is humans. And we've tried sticking our head in sand. We've tried going, oh, we're not going to look at it, and we're going to pretend it's not there, and we're going to pretend, whether you're on the left, you're on the right. I mean, one has to admit that what's going on with the left right now, there's a lot of people coming out going like, hey man, we've always existed, right? Like you just always stepped all over us. Now we're wanting a place. Now, whether everything else that goes with that at this point in the political spectrum, I'm not even going to go there. But the idea that all of humanity, every nook and crannies of us, every good part and every bad part is coming to light right now. And that is going to create something. And it's one of those sink or swim things, right? We're either going to sink because we're too bullheaded. We're either going to sink because we are going to drown ourselves in mindless things. Because two things can happen, right? We can either reach that point where, because life is becoming easy, and that's one of the things that is throwing us off, is life is way easier than it ever was before. And this is what gives us that room. Now, at the same time, is life easy? No. And is it getting harder? Yes. So right now it may get harder again. But guys, like the capacity that humans have, and that lays dormant, that we have shadowed because of the survival nature of our ego. We needed to survive. We needed to survive in the jungle, in the forest. We were being attacked by all kinds of stuff. And so that took over. And our brain wants to do everything in automatic, like in autopilot. So it jammed us in this track, and we've been following it. Now, the speed at which things are happening right now, and the way we're inventing, we're creating, we're like the accomplishments we're doing, but at the same time the pressure we're getting on us, and we have a fight or flight response, which is not the right response to stress, because it's a response to being attacked by a beast. So we're all being thrown around left, right, and center, and we're bouncing, and we're all not sure where we're going, and it's okay. Like, that's the whole thing, people. Like, I see people coming in, they're like, "Oh my god, my life is hell. This is crazy." Guess what, people? My life is hell too. Life is hell. Life is pressure. Life is hard. If you stop for a moment and you think about, remove every human and everything we've built, and think for a moment about how friendly is that planet to a single human. If you were all alone on that planet all of a sudden, dude, you would get eaten alive in seconds, right? I mean, okay, some of us may last days, or, but here's the deal, right? Like, this is a harsh environment. We have the weather to contend with. We have, hunger. We have, and so that's what we've been for, I mean, thousands, millions of years. We were focused on survival this way. And now we're reaching a point where that's not the focus anymore. We're reaching the age of the child. We're reaching the age of play, and technology is going to bring us to that place where we're capable of just taking a break and taking a step back. But for that, we need our old system, the one that's ego based, the one that uses, power, and that is trying to always grab and go, I need. Because the truth is, we now know we can harvest enough resources for everybody. It is doable, right? It's a question of logistics, it's a question, but the problem we face is we have systems that keep on agglomerating all the power places. And so all the power goes all these different places, and it never reaches all the right people, even when it started off well intentioned. I heard a theory during the pandemic, but somebody was talking about they said, well, okay, they locked everybody in their houses, and then they gave them packages, so they gave them money in the hope that it would fix the economy, because then it would. At that point, you're injecting money at the bottom of the economy. But what happened is everybody jumped on Amazon, and all the money went right up. And I mean, don't get me wrong, the billionaires like their money, but they don't need more money. That's not what they need. They need the money to continue circulating in your pockets as well, in order for their money to be worth something, right? Uh, so that was one theory, but that was, see, the way everything is moving right now. That's what it is we're trying to transfer bits of power.
Hello.
Hi, Jill. I was wondering if you were going to say something. I was like, all right, what's going on?
I didn't want to interrupt you.
How are you?
How
How are you
is
joining
everyone
us?
tonight?
Did you desert on your team
I
there?
am on a break. I
Hmm.
have a 10-minute break.
Oh, so you join
Do,
us for the break? That's cool.
do we want to do a spin wheel? A wheel spin?
If you'd like, sure.
I love wheel spins. Oh, I got to remember how to share that. Yeah.
Well, if you want, you can also jump in on that topic. Like, what do you think about that?
I only caught the very end of it. Oh,
Yeah, that's true enough.
I didn't mean to hit it.
That's okay. We'll just go with whatever comes up.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, all
We,
right, sure,
we, we want to remove that one so we don't have to hit it again, right?
sure.
Okay. So, is hell real?
But if you know
That's
me,
a good one.
you'll know that my opinion might be different next time.
Yep. It could be.
It
So, do we have
changes.
anybody in the in the live willing to comment in the chats on their beliefs on is hell
Hi,
real
Bobby.
or not? I'm not seeing the chat.
You're not see. Oh, okay. Well, no, I only have Bobby saying hi from Canada. Nice from
Hi.
Canada,
Hi in Canada.
and we had Nick before.
Okay, I can see it from my phone, but I can't see it on the live. Anyway,
Yeah.
um, Bobby, do you have a insight on a view on a belief on is hell real?
Well, what about you? Do you have one,
Yes, I
Jill?
do. I
There
do.
you go.
My belief is no, it is not real. What is your belief, Frank?
All three.
All three?
It's
Depends on
real.
what
It's
day.
not real. Well, no, actually, I've told you my belief before. It's I've made a compendium of all of every belief that goes. Okay, so some believe that hell and heaven are actual places, and you go to them and whatever. Some believe that hell and heaven are either a state of being or it's the way you are on Earth. So you can make Earth hell or you can make it heaven.
Correct.
Some people believe in reincarnation and karma. Now, what if it was that if I had a good life to this life, in my next life, I will be in heaven. I will then be, as some of those people say, living heaven on earth. Because it is possible if you've had good karma and you're now in heaven. Where if you had bad karma that you built, well, now you're burning that karma, so you're in hell. So all three are right in the end because you're going to die and you're going to go to another life, which is going to be horrible because, well, you kind of made a bunch of people's life horrible in this one. Or, you know what I mean? Like, so your karma is going to be the one that is going to be what determines whether you're going to hell or to heaven in your next life.
I believe same in a way.
I know I
I have
tend to go
different
with
beliefs
the.
too. I believe it can go different ways because I believe that it could be um depending on which state of spirituality a person is what their belief's going to be.
Okay, now you're going to have
So
to define that to me.
so like my belief may not match and probably won't match anyone else's belief
Oh,
because
no,
I'm
of
at a
course.
different spot in my spiritual journey. So to gear my beliefs right now.
Could it also be that both beliefs are right? It's just
Yeah,
you
they are
both
right.
experience different
Both are
universes?
definitely right.
Yeah.
I believe both are right. Because I believe that what I believe is gonna be for me and what you believe is gonna be for you.
Well, if some, you know what, if somebody tells me, like, you know how some people they're all about the galactic families and whatever, and the Pleiadians, and I understand none of it. However, when I speak to somebody who has that system, I kind of stop and I go, okay, all right, so here, this is what reality is right now because this is, I want to visit their
Did
reality.
Did you watch that video that I sent you the other day?
You send me like 3 videos
I
per day,
know.
so
No, maybe more. I'm
you may
talking about the
have.
one of the man on TikTok that was explaining the circle of life.
No, I didn't get.
Because
That's
I
true. You
totally
even told
agree
me
with
after.
with the way he described it. I totally agree with his view.
So what is that? Go on.
Well, wait, I can play it. He describes it so perfectly. That's assuming I'm not gonna be able to find it on yours. I'll be able to find it
Of
on
course.
somebody else's because I talk to you too much. Okay, let's see. Share with sound. All right, where it went. I don't hear it. You hear it? Oh, I don't have
At
no
the
sound.
moment of
What?
My
death,
bad.
Oh,
death is similar to the moment of sleep. At the moment of death, the spirit leaves the body, and for 3 days the etheric substance dissolves. The deceased watches his entire life flash before their eyes. Once the etheric body dissolves, the individual enters into the world of the soul. While entering into the higher realms, physical death is transformed into a spiritual birth. At the moment of death, the soul resurrects from the body and becomes one with the universe. The soul now passes into a cosmic existence. The earth is what gives us the possibility of experiencing physical death. The earth seems to be the bearer of death, and death can only be found on planet Earth. At the moment of death, the first cosmic sphere that the soul enters is the moon, or the unconscious. In this sphere, the soul meets cosmic beings similar to himself. They are beings whom he was once united with on Earth: family, friends, loved ones, siblings, foes, enemies, blessings. The stage following physical death takes place on the moon. It lasts approximately 21 Earth days. The soul is now in the lunar world, experiencing life review. The individual will experience in full consciousness how they treated others during their human experience. The soul also finds his deceased relatives who died before and after him within the lunar sphere. The soul will see before it all past actions and intentions towards others, and relives all that was inflicted upon them. If the soul took pleasure in making others suffer, he relives the suffering in a tenfold way. As the soul resonates these words, "Never again such suffering will I inflict upon others," the karmic plan of the future takes place. The soul is now ready to enter into the planetary spheres, picking up the data it will need for the next human experience. The soul kernel is then placed into the embryo, born again into another human experience, and the cycle of rebirth continues until all past karma is resolved. Once all lessons are learned, the soul begins its ascent back into its source and becomes its source again.
See, that's one of those. Oh yeah, okay, gotta close it. Okay, that's one of those times where I go, oh my god, like why so much detail? It's not
That that
like it's
video
gonna
is
take
the
three
closest
twenty two
thing
days,
that.
whatever. There is no time. It doesn't matter. It won't matter because there won't be time. It won't
Well,
be three
that's
days,
I think
twenty
that's
two.
an estimate. No, time doesn't exist. That's true.
It doesn't
But I
exist. It
think,
all happens at once, and it's all energy. But it's just we give it
but I believe
shapes.
what he's doing
But
is giving an
wow.
estimate for the people here that need that number. They want to know what is the number. What is the number?
Well,
They
I
don't
was gonna
have the
put it a different
concept.
way. I believe he's giving himself credibility, or he thinks he is. Because for a
And I
lot of
don't think
people,
he's
he is.
100% right, but he is the one that comes
Well,
closest to what
we
I
can't
believe.
know if he's 100% right,
Right.
nor can he.
Let's say I
That's why
don't
I don't like when
100%.
people put so much
I
detail. It's
don't
like,
100% have the same belief as him, but he's the one that has the closest to what I believe, and he explains it the best.
okay, so then what would be the difference and the same in what you believe? Like starting from his belief, like where would you differ or where would you?
Well, he says something along the lines of like you reincarnate again, like it's an instant thing, and I believe that the soul chooses when they want to incarnate again or if they want to incarnate again. So when it gets to that part, my belief kind of differs from his.
What if I said that both beliefs are right because both beliefs refer to
And they
something,
probably are.
both beliefs refers to something that
Right.
doesn't have an existence in the
And
way that we describe
it
it.
goes hand in hand with what we were saying before about having different beliefs
Well, it's
on
because we're
hell,
describing
which is was
something
the
that doesn't
original
have a
topic.
human.
But it's okay that we can have different beliefs, and it's okay for my belief to be the right one
Well,
for
yeah,
me.
that's it. Because in the end, none of it matters because it's all energy and we're giving it shape. So whether I say we're gonna, like, everybody that has described ever the process of reincarnation is right, basically. Because who cares? Like, yes, and even the reincarnation, it's useful to us in this realm, which is a very limited, small aspect of everything. Um, but beyond that, it's useless. Like, it's not. It's just, you know, like time becomes useless. Every human concept that we have, those are all the things that keep us human, to begin with. And this is where I think enlightenment kind of comes in, because it's all of a sudden you sort of let go of everything that is the wheel of life. You just kind of, none of it. um I'm not there. I have, obviously have not ascended or anything. But
Okay, I have 2 minutes left on my break. Do you want another wheel spin before I go, or are
sure,
you
go nuts.
good?
I'll continue talking about that topic.
Oops, wrong one.
Unless everybody wanted me
Oh,
to go back on my ranting about the Great Awakening, but bruh.
you good with that?
Yeah, of course. I'll.
All right.
So yeah, how do
Bye,
we
guys. Glad I
protect?
could stop in for a minute.
That was awesome. So Jill stopped by. That was unexpected. I was not. I didn't even know. That's pretty cool, guys. All right. So, um, crap. Where were we going here? How about we come up with? Okay. Does anybody in the chat right now wanna? Is there a topic you'd like me to discuss? Is there something you'd like to know about? Let me just talk about the early days, not the early days, but coming into spirituality and some of the struggles I see people coming in with. And maybe if I can address some of them, or if I can, and it'll tie into the protection. So um what people mostly need that come into spirituality, I don't know why, but a vast majority of us, we're coming in from a place of despair. Often this is what brings us to it. And seeing as that, often we won't have boundaries, we won't have like, we'll be pretty damaged a lot of times when we come in. And that's okay, but it's what we have to start working with, right? And so that aspect, just the fact of, you know I think it's a gift that we get that we don't realize. But once we deal with everything, that because we came in with such, well, I can't, okay, I'm not going to talk for others, I'm going to talk for me. uh when I, like, the reason I think I went on a spiritual path was because I was hurt as a child, right? And so that led me to want to know, okay, well, there's got to be more in this world, there's got to be more happening. And so that brought me through a whole bunch of learning through different means, through different people. I mean, I went and, talked to old people when I was a kid and went like, hey, what do you know? You've been here for a while, so what do you know now? I mean, needless to say, I guess none of what they were talking about applies today. Actually, you know what? No, the vast majority of what they were talking about actually applies, because what old people taught me was, in a large way, to let go. They were like, look, it's not going to matter when you get there. Like all this running around, all this crap, all this, what's going to matter is the people around you. It's going to be the contacts you've made with people, what impression you've left. And not, I don't mean what impression you've left. Like, don't go into the world trying to be seen and trying to be relevant and trying to be more and try. That's ego based, and it's not going to get you far. But if you come into the world and you say, hey, you know what? Like every day I'm going to try to do just a little bit to make the world a better place, right? And in this day and age, and this ties into what I was talking earlier with the Great Awakening, in this day and age, every little bit we do gets amplified like enormously, because people see it, or people, there's a viral nature to information right now. And some are afraid of that, some are very afraid, because they're the people that have not faced their monsters yet. They're people that have not looked under, in their closet and said, hey, what's hiding in there? um those of us who have are welcoming this new world, because we're going, wait a minute, no, people are going to awaken right now. People are going to go, all you people, everybody that's watching this right now, number one, you're watching this because of that reason, because you're coming in going like, like, yeah, I want to do something better. You either, you had bad parents, you want to be a better parent for your kids. You had a bad childhood, you want to make up for it, you want to show everybody, you want to, right? But we're all here because we're trying to get better in our lives, because we're trying to leave the world a better place, because we believe that there's something more, and that there's something that we can hold on to, that together will allow us to reach heights that we don't even know. And the truth is, that is possible. It is possible for us to do that, but for that we need to chill. We really do. We need to stop for a moment, and we need to stop. 99.9% of our time is spent entertaining ourselves, entertaining our brains. Now, we're reaching a point where we're going to have a lot of free time, because robots are going to do everything. And when everything adjusts, because it will, right? Now, look, I don't care what the nefarious ones are planning. Like, you can't have a handful of people control 8 billion people. So whatever it is, at the end of that story, things improve. However long that story lasts. But look, we're coming to a point where each of us is given the opportunity to take responsibility for themselves and take responsibility for those around them. And I'm not talking about like coaxing people with the like, oh, you got to do it for the whole, or you got to do it for the group, or you got to, whatever. No, I'm talking about every person sitting down by themselves. Like, go in the forest, go in the middle of nowhere, sit down by yourself in meditation for and like any length of time, not for seconds, but for minutes, for days, for hours, for weeks, for whatever it takes. And the end result of that, when you've spent time with yourself, when you've spent time listening to your thoughts and quieting them, and when they say quieting them, nobody's talking about you're not going to think anymore. Yes, at some points in meditation you can reach that, but what you're looking to gain is to have a better outlook on yourself, is to be able to breathe better, to see better, to experience life better, to understand quicker, to react in better ways, to not always be angry, not feel stressed the same way. I mean, let's face it, 90% of our population, I don't know, that's a number I'm making up here, but a bunch of our population is running around in fight or flight, and this is not healthy. Fight or flight is not a healthy state for us to be in. But half of, like, a bunch of us are walking around and we're all in fight or flight and we're all freaking out. And the truth is, there's a bunch of ways where we can all, like, just whoa, quit, stop, chill, relax for a minute. And if we do, and we look at where we're at and we kind of go, okay, let's take a second and just look at, what's happening, each of us, because you can't, everybody comes at this and goes like, oh, the world will need to, guess what? In my life, the world will need to nothing. The world is perfectly fine the way it is, because the world is a reflection of me. And when you understand that concept, when that sets in, when all of a sudden you can literally look at the world and go, okay, what is this saying about me? And you can look at the weirdest things and say, what is this saying about me? Why am I perceiving it? Because it's not the thing itself that's saying something about you, right? It's your perception of it, it's your reaction to it, it's your, so anything you look at and you react instantly to, you can say, hey, whoa, why am I reacting to this, right? And so we're all gonna have to look at ourselves, but what's at the other side of looking at yourself is beautiful. So the quicker we can all get there, the quicker we can all say, hey, you know what? Wait a minute. I'm not perfect, but holy crap, look at those creeps around, man. Because, yeah, now we see everybody and we see that there's some nasty, nasty humans, and there's some, and you know what? The truth is, some of the nasty, nasty humans see themselves as super, super good humans. And some of the good humans are like, yeah, we tend to want to, like, put things into good and evil little pockets there. And hey, guess what? We're all good and we're all evil. I think what it is humans can go full extreme one side or full extreme the other side. And if you take a human, if you take, like, just, the very simple, basic building block of a human, uh, that block will become something based on what it goes through, right? So you start with that little human. Now, some attributes will be genetic, some, and there's arguments to know which is going to be which, and there's all kinds of. And if you guys want to go down some crazy rabbit hole and you're ready for some very intellectual and very dry reading, read The Selfish Gene. I can't remember the name of the author. It is a very interesting book. To go quickly into it, the premise of the book is that we are gene survival machines, basically. And so, at the very basic level, you have genes, and then genes started creating microorganisms because they wanted to survive, and they were going to survive better if they were into little agglomerations. And then they discovered that if they did it in this shape, it worked a little better than in that shape. And then slowly they started, like, devising little ways, separating whatever, like all the different things that happen at molecular level that I have no understanding of. This is why that book was brutal for me to read, but it was super interesting. But yeah, like and so he goes on to basically, it built organisms, trying to make them better and better and make them fight against each other, to determine which was better. And eventually, like, we are the culmination of that. We're the de facto best survival machine at this point. AI may have us beat at some point in robotics and whatever, but who knows? Um, but anyways, it's a very, very interesting book if you want to jump down that rabbit hole. Um, but meanwhile, I mean, yes, we have something that's happening right now, and look, people are waking up with, they're finding out they have gifts like these things. We're starting to accept them. They were never accepted. I mean, not that long ago we were burning people at the stake, right? It's easy to forget that not that long ago we were excessively barbaric and we were excessively, like, yeah, we weren't pretty. So the ways we are now, like the everything that's happening, I wish I could literally describe what I see when I think about the Great Awakening. Because what I see is an energy. What I see is more, there's images, but it's not, I don't know why I'm even telling you that. I sound crazy, but yes, I have a perception, and it's weird, but what the craziness is bringing us in weird ways somehow eventually turns into something good somehow. Like it turns into a tool for us. But the reason it does is because we change. It's because we start accepting who we are. Like, I believe that, guys. I truly believe that if every human stops for a moment and says, okay, who am I? What am I? What am I about? How could I be better? What kind of world do I want to leave? What kind of world should we be living in? And how can I make it that world? Not others. Like, enough with, oh, others should be better. Oh, like, look, granted, we have some pretty broken people. You're not going to fix, like, there's some dangerous individuals like psychopaths and stuff that you're not going to fix, and you need to kind of be on the lookout for these people, right? But that's okay. The truth is, I believe as we explore ourselves, as we discover ourselves, as we become more balanced, these people are going to happen less and less, because let's face it, they're usually, they come from a certain, uh, I don't know. Like, I think it's something that eventually fixes itself if we balance ourselves. Now, when I speak of that balance, one of the places these days where I see it taking a lot of shape, and it really freaks me out that nobody seems to see why that is. But we have the left and we have the right, like in political realms, if you will, or in that whole whatever. But the thing is, if you look at the left, right, like you've got the LGBTQ, you've got the women's movement, you've got now most of that, and this could be very controversial what I'm about to say, but I don't know, but whatever. But that side is the more emotional side. Right now, usually you would hear the right say that, and they would go, they're emotional. They can't, handle facts, right? Now you've got the right, and yeah, that's exactly what the right says. They go, well, no, it has to be facts, and it has to be all hard, da da da, and you got to be able to prove it, and you got to be able to, and this is the mind side. Those people are living in their mind. The more extreme ones, I suspect, if you go ask them, so how do you feel about that? They're gonna go, what's that got to do with anything? I don't feel it. Yeah, okay, if you explored a little deeper, they would eventually either get angry or freak out or what, because guess what, they a lot of times are not capable of expressing their emotions because they live in their head. I was one of them. I had to learn to express emotions. I did not know. I wasn't taught. Like, nobody. My dad was a very intellectual person. He taught me to be a very intellectual person. That's what we knew. And so I had to learn to handle my emotions. Well, right now, we have the right and the left fighting. And what's happening is that both of our sides are trying to reintegrate themselves into us, right? So we have the emotions, we have the thoughts, and half of us are led by one, half of us are led by the other. All of us almost are led by the ego, which identifies with both of those things, which makes things even worse. And so all of a sudden, like, everything is jumbled. We fight when the truth is what we need to do is the right needs to learn to explore their emotions, and the left needs to, stop living only by their emotions and going, okay, so if we think about this, what are we going to. And when both can manage to balance, to find balance, then. But here's the funny part: everybody will go, well, okay, so the right could come and listen to us, okay, well, the left could come and listen to us. No, we should all sit and look within. That's how we're going to find it, because what we're looking for is, if you're an emotional person, what you're looking to do right now in life is become a little more intellectual, find a way to accept that realm as well, because it's part of us. And if you're on the intellectual side of things and you're not living your emotions, learn to live your emotions, because the way we're balancing things in all kinds of wrong ways right now, but it's okay, because it'll all balance itself out after, and we'll be fine. But yes, it's within. We need to balance our emotions, our thoughts. And I believe, this is my own belief, this is how I find it has worked for me. Once I balanced my thoughts and my emotions, once I said, okay, they both can serve me. And once I was able through meditation to look from outside of them, now something else came in. And I started being more and more able to listen to my intuition. Now that is something else, because now you have like three items: you have your thoughts, you have your emotions, and you have your intuition. But here's the deal: you know how I said your ego identifies with your thoughts and your emotions. Once you can manage to detach from your thoughts and emotions and appreciate your intuition, you find out that the intuition is the communication means to your deeper self, your higher self, if you will. It's your subconscious, really. And your subconscious, your higher self, is connected to everything. It's connected to the source of it all. And because of that, now you're getting that connection. You're getting your higher self knows your purpose. Everybody comes and everybody's like, oh, I don't know. What am I supposed to do in life? What's my purpose? Follow your intuition. And if you don't know how to follow your intuition, look, contact us. We can maybe do a training. We can maybe do something like try to help people with stuff like that. Like, learning to listen to your intuition, like, that is a skill that is so important, right? You need to learn what's in your gut. We call it a gut feeling, right? Because it is in the gut. Our gut, I mean, I'm not going to go too much into it, but even physically, we're finding out that our gut is basically our second brain. Like, it's a very important part of our system. And as we're destroying our, as we're, I don't know, as we're letting our ego run rampant, we're also destroying our gut. Coincidentally, I mean, I don't know. Does it mean anything? Does it not? Who knows? I like to assign meaning to things, but that's me. Um, Although at some point it might be you if you follow everything, because I swear to God, the meaning you assign to things is true. I keep on coming back to the same things, right? But that mirror effect you have with the world, that exchange that you have with the universe at all times, yes, you can, by small manipulations, have an impact on it, and it can have an impact on you with small things. And you need to learn to look everywhere and look for everything. And let's assume for a moment, look, I don't know, I'm thinking of buying a chair, and I'm not sure which chair to get. I have one in micro suede and the other in leather, and I'm going like, oh, I don't know which one I should get, whatever. And all of a sudden, I come across this thing, which is to wash screens or whatever, but it has a little micro suede surface, and I go, oh my god, yeah, that's a sign. That's a sign that I got to buy the micro suede one. Well, here's the deal. Why not? Who cares? So it's a sign. You decided it's a sign. Okay, all right. But here's what: if you do that, you're gonna see that all of a sudden, like for some reason, it still all works, and your life becomes easier. But it's because what you've done now. The truth is, the entire time, more than likely, somewhere inside you, you wanted the micro suede one. That's all it is, right? Now, you could have probably turned around and looked at your leather jacket 6 feet further and gone, oh, that's a sign. I got to go with the leather one, right? But I believe that somehow you captured, your attention got diverted to the one that was going to back up the right decision for you. I know that's a very weird, but that's the mirror, right? Is so if you look at things and you go, what am I thinking about that, and why am I thinking it? And you open yourself to letting things give you information, if you will. You'll be surprised what can happen. I personally, I go in the woods when I'm facing like really tough decisions and whatever. I have this thing I do. I go in the woods and literally, I mean, this is gonna sound absolutely crazy to most people, but I go in the woods and the sun talks to me. Um, Now, it's my belief that whatever happens at that moment is that I'm probably assigning whatever thought works with the event that happens with the sun that either comes out from behind the trees or whatever the hell happens, right? And it's not just the sun, it's the animals, it's the forest. The forest has a lot of opportunity to give you feedback, I find. And why it does, I don't know, but it does. It'll give you whatever feedback you need. It'll give you, I don't know. I could be completely wrong here. I have a very, very special relationship with the forest near my house and the animals in it. Uh, so it's possible that it's just because of that I can experience that. But if there's anything that you're familiar with, here's the deal. Look, we look at, say, divination tools sometimes, right? And it can be tea, it can be coins, it can be tarot, it can be whatever. And we go, okay, well, why this one and that one and not this and not that? And the truth is, it doesn't matter, because we're always talking about things we have inside, right? We're never talking about things outside of us. We're always talking about things inside of us. And it's the same thing in this case. Um, so look, the great awakening, if you want to do your part, if you're coming in and you're struggling and you're whatever, if you want to do your part, here's what you share, you like, you do everything with our video. Okay, that was just some shameless self promotion, but here's what: you look at yourself and you try to make yourself the best person ever. If you have kids, you make it so that you give your kids the best tools to become themselves, not to become whatever you think they should be, because you have no clue, um, but to become who they can best be. And if we all do that, if we all kind of do this and continue communicating the way we are, I'm serious, 10, 15, 20 years from now, this world could be so different. But we need to let go, you guys. We need to let go of that ego. We need to stop consuming entertainment and entertainment and entertainment. And I say this on YouTube, but hey, so be it. But guys, come on. Like, we really need to do this. We all need to look at ourselves. We all need, because right now what's happening is we need to get over our ego. It's going to hurt. It sucks when you look at yourself at first, because what you first see is the ego, the damage it's done, and you go, what the hell am I? I'm a loser. I'm a horrible person. I'm this, I'm that. The truth is, you're none of those things. You're a star. You are a fantastic star. And you just had the wrong people around you telling you you weren't, but you can be again. That person they told you not to be, that person that they said, oh, don't do that, don't do that, no, no, that's you can't be that, you can't do that, come on, that's stupid. That was you, man. And that's still you. And that needs to become you soon. Soonish, whenever. All right, guys, here's the deal. Come back, and we're gonna work on ourselves together. And I'll be here for the ride. I'm not going anywhere. If you guys want, anyways, like, I mean, let us know. Come in, ask us questions, like, throw subjects at us, like, throw. We wanna. I really personally, I know Jill too. We really want to help. We really want to bring what we've gained. I mean, guys, I've been at this for a very, very long time. And still not nearly enough. I mean, in 30 years from now, I will know so much more, and I will have so much more to offer you, I hope. But still, I have gone from a place being an absolutely broken child to a place where, I can confident, like, with confidence, tell you that yes, I have something to offer you, I have something to bring you. And same with Jill. Like, she's she brings all the mediumship. And if you feel you have gifts, and you have, like, I whatever gifts I have, I became aware of them, like, not even that long ago, for real. Most of my path was not started because I had a gift, right? But if you're coming in from, like, oh, I feel I have a gift, but I know I have never looked at spirituality, I don't understand anything. Well, then Jill is the person for you, because that's her jam, right? Is all the Because I come at it from a very different angle. But guys, if we can help you in any way, let us know. Interact with us. And so on this, I'm gonna thank you all for coming. Please watch us on all of our channels. Like, I have the Boundless Mind. Jill has Inspired Spirit by Jill Petrie. I mean, visit us, like us, whatever. Like, do it, anything you can to give us a little push in the right direction. It really helps. I'm gonna keep on posting the little clips I've been posting, and see. You guys seem to like those, so it was pretty cool. See, there we go. Now, Jill is chiming in, telling us that everybody has the ability. Not everybody's interested in developing using them. Yeah, but what I was talking about is more that some people are aware of the gift before they are aware of spirituality, and other people are aware of they learn spirituality and then discover that, hey, wait a minute, I had gifts, or they never even go into that realm. But that's what I meant, where I never, I mean, you accuse me of having gifts often, but now for you guys who are on YouTube and not seeing the chat, it's because Jill has said everyone has the ability. Not everybody's interested in developing. Um, and so, yeah, that's true. And so, you guys, once again, I will thank you for joining me. And hey, with a bit of luck, maybe the lovely Jill will join us next week. So come back and make sure you check. All right, guys. I love you. Good night.